I'm selling my Corvette. I just saw values are going down on the Z06. One of my friends sent me a listing of a brand new 2025 Z06, 20% off. This is insane, especially when you consider people were paying over MSRP. I've seen 25 to like 50 grand over MSRP. I've heard people paying 100 grand over, which I can't confirm that, but I do know 25 to 50 grand over MSRP. Now, I did get a discount on my car. Maybe in the future I'll tell you guys what it is, but for now, here's what I'll tell you. This is the worst time to be paying over MSRP. Obviously, my friend, he thinks that the Corvette Z06s are gonna tank simply because of the new ZR1 and potentially Zora. Here's my humble opinion. The car market is having what I call a correction. Now, obviously that correction could be over very quickly depending on tariffs because there's still a lot of uncertainty on car values, right? However, there is some truth to the new ZR1. The ZR1 could hurt Z06 pricing. But the problem is with that car coming out, you're going to be paying on average, I mean, close to, I would say $190,000 to $200,000. That's probably the average price of those cars when they get built because no one's buying it base for the most part. Some people will, obviously, but people who can spend $200,000 on a car, they're not going to skimp out on options. They're going to get whatever they want in that price point. So for me to go from where I'm at with the Z06 to go to $200,000, I can't justify that price point right now. So I don't think that ZR1s are going to have a huge effect. If anything, they could actually allow the Z06 pricing to kind of stable out because I can't really see a ZR1 ever being worth less than 100K, just like the Z06 is. The Z06, the cheapest one in the nation, is a brownish purple color, has 82,000 miles. That car is still bringing over 100 grand. That's what they're asking for at least. Now, will they get it? Who knows? But let's go ahead and check out this car. I want to show you guys this 20% off brand new Z06. It's convertible. It's actually a really cool color. And they're showing about 20% off, rounded off. Here is the car. As I said, 2025, brand new, never been titled. They have it for sale for $153,599. Now, it shows here MSRP is $191,605. Save $38,000. That is interesting because when you look at the car, you're like, well, hold on here. I see that it has just the regular spider wheels. It does have the aero kit. So is that the carbon fiber aero kit? Let's see. So it does have the competition seats, but really no major upgrades to the interior because it just has like the stealth package and the yellow stitching because all this carbon fiber all comes standard. So this car is $191,000. Now I see there it has the front lift, which $2,600, but on the outside, all it has is just the convertible top, has the black exhaust tips there, but no carbon fiber wheels, and it doesn't have the carbon fiber aero kit. How in the world is this car $191,000 MSRP'd? You see there carbon ceramic brakes and it has the Z07 package. You can tell with the tires. So let's go ahead and pull the window sticker. Here it is. This is the car. It's a 2025 Corvette Z06 convertible 3LZ, so it's the highest trim. This car has an MSRP of $161,605. So my friend sent this to me saying, man, you're going to take a bath on your car because they have these cars for almost 40 grand off. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. But when I pulled this, I said, well, wait a minute. How are they showing this car with a $191,000 MSRP when the MSRP is $161,605? So here's my thought on this car. I'm not familiar with that dealer group. Never heard of them before. And here's what I'll say. I'm willing to bet you money that they got a car, either an allocation that they couldn't fill, or someone ordered that car, decided to back out, and now they're trying to make big money on it because they have an available C8 Z06, which kind of hard still to get in some cases. Like out here in Utah, I mean, there's not many available brand new, if not any. Maybe I know there's some used ones out there, but last time I checked it, we had about 8 in the state, I believe. Not a lot. But yeah, that dealership probably got the car, and because it was available, they said, hey, let's see if we can make some big money on it. So they marked it up $30,000. Probably sat on it for a little bit and decided, hey, it's time for us to move this car out of here. So now they discounted it from $191,000 MSRP, right? Not a real MSRP. And it shows 20% off online, which is a phenomenal deal. Now, if I was someone who probably didn't plan on buying a Z06 and I saw that, I would think I was getting a great deal. But again, it's not real. You have to get familiar with the overall look of these cars. See, I can look at a Z06 today and tell you whether it has a $140,000 to $150,000 MSRP, $160,000 to $170,000, $170,000, $180,000. I can kind of tell because based off the expensive options. Obviously, the carbon aero kit is like what, $10,500. If you want to get carbon fiber wheels, that's $10,000 plus dollars. I think it's like what, 11 or 12 grand for the carbon fiber wheels. Z07 package is going to set you back another like what, $8,800. If you get a convertible top, that's like $8,000 to $10,000. So once you start seeing all these expensive options on a car, that car is probably going to have an MSRP around 170 plus, 180 plus, depending on, you know, all the interior options, of course, front lift. And I think personally, if you're doing those options like the carbon fiber wheels and just going crazy, those cars, regardless of the trim, are depreciating the quickest. Now in the future, those cars are going to be worth a ton of money. So don't buy your car with all the options expecting to get a bunch of money for them, because those options are depreciating really fast, because a lot of people aren't looking to collect these right now, and they're being mass produced. So those cars in the future will be worth something, but today they're not going to be. So that's why for me personally, I was trying to stay under 150, and I did. I'm at 149, 520, and I feel like I have a lot of the nice options that people would want to see if I do decide to sell this car in a few years. But yes, right now, the question that we should be asking and talking about is, where is the C8 Z06 bottom? We already see where the C8 Stingray bottom is. We know what the C7 Z06 bottom is, but really we don't know what the bottom of these C8 Z06s are. So I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Where do you guys think these cars are going to start bottoming out? Now obviously mileage is a factor. So if a car has average miles, it's probably going to depreciate a little bit quicker. Something else to consider, if your demographic, if you're in an area where there's a lot more of these cars available, like Florida, any of those states, like I would say Florida is probably the big one, but any southern state where they don't see a lot of like cold weather, you're probably going to see more of these available, which means it's going to hurt the value a little bit. But yes, right now the cheapest Z06 that's used is a 2023, has 82,000 miles. I did a video on it. It's like a brownish purple color. It's $102,000, has 82,000 miles and an accident, and they still want over 100 grand. Now that car was a 2LZ. If you're looking at 1LZs, you see a lot of those available, brand new, heavily discounted. I would stray away a little bit of the 1LZs if you're not planning on keeping it for a long time. Most of you guys know when I first started looking at Corvette, that's what I was going to get. I was going to get a base 1LZ. But then I did the worst thing ever. I started adding options, and then I started looking at pricing, comparing it to 2LZ versus 3LZ. And now I have a 3LZ with a few options on it. And it's because of how I drive my car. But yes, if you're looking to buy these cars, do your research. If you can't decipher online what a car looks like and see this MSRP might be around this or this, if you can't do that, I think that you should take time to really learn how to understand pricing on these, because these cars don't really have a bottom and we don't know what the bottom is. That's why for me, I want to be under 150, because I know it's going to get a discount, and I knew that like I wasn't probably going to keep this car forever. So I wanted to make sure I don't lose 50 grand obviously on the car by adding a bunch of options. But I hope this video was helpful. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Where do you think the bottom of these cars is going to land? Figured 3 years. The 2023s, you know, next year, that's 3 years. So regardless of the ZR1 and the Zora, those cars are going to be way out of reach for some people. And dealers are already, you know, 100K over MSRP on some of those cars right now. So I think that that could help a little bit to push people to want to just buy a Z06. And who knows, maybe in a couple months or so, maybe we'll get some unlocked ECMs and then we can start getting some tunes and really getting some good horsepower and torque out of this car. But yes, would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. Thanks for watching.